This is the first review of the Green Health Store product. And what is the Green Health Store? The Green Health Store is alternative to health care. Products that you maybe don't know about. And today we've prepared a presentation for you. Introducing, Fast Tonsil Stones Cure, Permanently Cure Tonsil Stones Without Surgery by Alan Thompson. And we gonna hear a little bit about Alan Thompson.
I know exactly what it's like to live constantly having to spit out tonsil stones, the sore throats, and nasty dragon breath. I completely understand what it's like to be constantly chewing gum, and being scared to get too close to anyone because you worry about them smelling your breath. I was so embarrassed by this condition and it affected my social life in a big way. I know what it's like when you've tried everything and it doesn't work. You visit doctors, ents, naturopaths, and they either could not help you or tell you that you need to spend big bucks for surgery or other expensive treatments. You need to know that you're not alone. You are not the only person that is going through what you're going through. I have some good news for you. There is hope. What if I told you that I know a way to cure your tonsil stones permanently within 3 days? No surgery. No expensive treatments. One day I woke up with an irritating feeling in the back of my throat. From that day on my life took a change for the worst. One morning I woke up and felt like something was stuck at the back of my throat. So I tried to get whatever was stuck out by making these horrific coughing noises. After an hour of absolutely no success, I went to the bathroom and used the mirror to look at the back of my throat. I saw 2 whitish bumps in the back of my throat, on the left side. At first I thought it was pus or plaque or something. I was so irritated by those things that I stuck my finger back there and tried to dislodge them, but I stopped when I almost gagged. I decided to try a Q-tip, but this time I gagged so bad that I actually did throw up. After prodding around some more, one popped out and I bent over the sink and spat it out. This thing was disgusting. It looked like twisted veins and it had a really terrible smell to it. A few minutes later I was able to cough the other one. Afterwards, I just sat in the bathroom exhausted and a mess. But this was just the beginning. 2 days later, they came back. At this point I decided to go see a doctor. The doctor told me that this is normal and prescribed me antibiotics. I took the antibiotics that my doctor prescribed for 10 days, but it didn't get rid of my tonsil stones or my bad breath. Over the next year, the darn things would come in spurts. 1 week would get 4 tonsil stones, then the following 2 weeks nothing, then the week after that I would get like 7 tonsil stones. But then things got even worse. Over time, I noticed that my tonsil stones were getting progressively bigger. They were so big they were the size of a soybean. When they were this big I couldn't dislodge them. To make matters even worse, as the tonsil stones got bigger, my breath worse too. My breath was so bad I completely avoided social situations. I always had a mint in my mouth at work and I always made sure I kept a great distance from people. I felt hopeless, depressed, and I was tired of keeping my distance from people. I went back to my doctor and he referred me to an ENT specialist. The specialist said that I have tonsil stones, which is food particles and bacteria that gets trapped in pockets of my tonsils. The ENT continues to explain that over time the rotting and accumulation of these food and bacteria produces bigger and more foul-smelling tonsil stones. He told me that the only way to fix my problem is to have a surgery to remove my tonsils called a tonsillectomy. When I went home I went on the internet and started researching tonsillectomy, and I came to the conclusion that getting a tonsillectomy is definitely not for me, for several reasons. First, it's very expensive. It would cost me approximately $5,800. Second, I can't afford to take 20 days off for work for the recovery process. Third, I read many stories online of patients that have had a tonsillectomy describe the weeks after the surgery as being the most excruciating pain in my life. I was devastated. Tonsil stones was severely affecting my social and romantic life, and the only way to cure it is if I take a really painful surgery that I can't afford. I was angry, frustrated and depressed. I kept asking myself, why is this happening to me? Why? What did I do to deserve this? After 2 weeks of wallowing in my own self-pity, anger and depression, I had reached a boiling point. I couldn't take it anymore. I was sick and tired of living life like this. I wanted my old life back. I was tired of being ashamed, and I knew that I wouldn't have another chance at love unless I find a solution. From that day forward, I decided that I was going to do whatever it takes to get rid of tonsil stones from my life without surgery, or die trying. Living life like this is no longer an option. I might as well be dead. From that day on, I spent every free waking moment researching, emailing, talking and meeting with anyone I thought may have the solution to my problem. 2 years later, finally, my hard work paid off. During the 2 years, I tried almost every natural remedy and tonsil stone removal method out there. And spent roughly $1,000 in the process. But it was all worth it because, almost 2 years and $1,000 later, I stumbled across this one particular method, and to my amazement and disbelief, the horrifically bad breath I suffered with for 3 years was gone completely after a matter of days, and I never had a single tonsil stone since. I was filled with nervous excitement. I immediately tested my breath using 3 methods I had learned during my research. First method. I licked my wrist with my tongue, waited 5 seconds, then smelled my wrist. No foul smell. I then scraped the back of my tongue with a spoon, and smelled the spoon, again no foul smell. The third and final test, was I asked my brother to smell my breath and he said my breath didn't stink. To my disbelief, my tonsil stones were gone. I felt as if I finally had my life back. Let me ask you an important question. Have you honestly tried every single possible natural remedy out there to cure your tonsil stones? I'm sure you tried many things, and maybe you've even considered having painful, drawn-out tonsillectomy to have your tonsil removed. Are you so frustrated that you've given up on trying to find a cure? I want you to know right now that it doesn't have to be this way. You don't have to live with tonsil stones anymore. It's been almost 5 years now since I've made my life-changing discovery, and I have never once had my tonsil stones returned. I put the exact method I used to eliminate tonsil stones once and for all into a simple guide. Everything you need to know is right there in the guide. You don't need to go through all the trial and error. I didn't create this method for getting rid of tonsil stones, I just put it together so that I could easily explain to other people that suffer from tonsil stones exactly what to do to get rid of their tonsil stones. You don't need harmful antibiotics, drugs or a tonsillectomy. I created this guide to help you get your life back, like how I finally got mine back. I'm 100% confident that I can help you get rid of your tonsil stones permanently. And this guide is on the Green Health Store. So if you want to know how I recover from tonsil stone, visit the Green Health Store on Facebook for more. And to get the guide.
Thank to Alan Thompson for that presentation. What Alan Thompson speaking about is his step-by-step guide will take you by the hand and walk you through each step you need to take to get rid of your tonsil stones forever. Imagine how amazing it will feel once you are able to get close to people again without worrying about your bad breath. Once you follow the exact steps he outlined in this ebook, you will know exactly how to remove your tonsil stones naturally without gagging, choking, coughing or painful surgery, and stop them from ever coming back again. This is the exact method he used to end the 3 years of suffering and embarrassment that had completely ruined his life. Thank you for taking the time to watch this presentation, and if this is a valuable content, please share and like the Green Health Store.